I think you can't really change unless you first examine yourself and you actually identify part of the problems. And I think in this time, the George Floyd's death really impacted me, and it triggered. You see the amazing outpour, and it forced me to sort of look around and say, why are we in this position we are today? And am I doing something that's actually potentially, perpetuating this problem? And when I look around, I think we're a company filled with people with the right intentions, but yet I don't have the diversity that I want. So it was important for me to first set to set the expectations. Like, look, everyone, like, we're actually not great here. And to declare that and recognize that we are actually part of the problem, and you can't fix it until you actually identify and realize that you have issues. So we're now actively trying to figure out, how are we going to change?
And we applaud the honesty, Anne, and to the point of how you're going to make progress and make change. Is that purely by hiring the right people going forward, or will it involve layoffs of existing employees?
No, it's four aspects to me that are really important. Hiring is an important one, because if you look at some of the metrics on LinkedIn, they say 70% of people get their job through a network. So one of the most important things for us is to all of us expand our networks. So I have to improve hiring. I think there's also aspects. I can look at my board. That is a choice I can make. I absolutely have to have diversity and representation on my board. I think number two is looking at your employee experience. Are there things that you're potentially doing that don't create the right kind of environment for employees? Are there microaggressions going on? Are there, do they feel open, and, do underrepresented minorities feel the ability to talk about their experience? So the employee experience is a critical component we're looking at. Third, I think it's the community impact. How is it our underrepresented minorities and Blacks, are they, is there a funnel of people who can, get into science? How is it that 23andMe is partnering with companies that also have diversity? Do we make it part of our priority that we say we only want to do research programs with company or with groups that actually have that kind of diversity, or partnerships for our supplies? And last is looking at our own product and making sure that our product actually has equal representation, that it's not as Eurocentric, but that it actually supports all of our customers.
Feels like Silicon Valley in particular has not been great on this issue. It's not just you, but you have a pretty good feel for what it's like at some of the big tech companies. Obviously, your sister runs Google, and venture capital firms. How bad is this problem out there?
I think there's a real issue. And again, I think it's a real issue. And I think the first thing that people need to do is recognize that there's something that we're doing that is creating barriers for true diversity. And there's changes that we all have to make. And there's parts of things that I am committed to doing, of knowing that, there's not enough Black representation in research and development in pharma and biotech companies. That is just absolutely clear. So that's not something that it's a quick fix, but I need to invest in the education. I need to, like 23andMe ourselves, we need to have intern programs. What are ways that we can support that kind of growth? And I think the entire industry, all of Silicon Valley, has a responsibility to making sure that the funnel of people coming in are diverse, and that we're evaluating our own culture to see whether or not anything is impeding a diverse culture.
And wanted to pivot, if I may, to COVID-19, the coronavirus. Sure. What have you guys at 23andMe been able to add in terms of the response to try and progress things, whether it's in vaccines and treatments, or just identifying who's the most vulnerable?
When COVID-19 came out, we decided that the best way we could have an impact was actually looking at genetic associations with why some people get so sick and why some people get sick to begin with. So on April 6th, we launched a study. We now have 750,000 people who have taken the survey that we asked. We have 12,000 people who said that they were COVID positive at some point. And we have over 2,000 people who said that they were hospitalized for it. So we were very excited to see that we actually did find genetic associations in the ABO gene, meaning that people who are O blood type look like they are 9 to 18% less likely to get COVID-19. And we're also looking at some of the severity.
So have you passed on these results with, I don't know, who should be using these results? Vaccine makers, hospitals?
That's a great question. Part of the push here is to make sure that we can make data available to the academic world, that we can actually help advance this. I know we've had a lot of reach from our customers who are interested in knowing themselves whether or not they have this mutation, what kind of blood type they have, what these mutations. So I think the reality, what we hope to get in the future is that there's a genetic test where we can say this group of individuals are less likely to have it and this group of individuals are more likely to have it. And do the people who are more susceptible take increased precautions? So that would be, I think, the ideal area. There's absolutely potential for us helping with drug discovery in other areas, vaccines. Those companies are running with it, and we'll look to support it as we can.
Anne, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.